Okay, so I've been just checking out flights around the southern hemisphere and just trying to hop from continent to continent and finding out just how ridiculous it is. So let's follow these planes and see if they can prove the plane. First, I'm starting in Australia and I want to go from Sydney to Santiago, Chile, which Google Maps tells us is 7,000 miles. I've been using Fare Compare, and you can use whatever you like. Just type in your to and from, brings up all your flights, different carriers, and all your different scenarios here. So actually it looks like a lot of flights, but there's just 6 separate flights. And out of those, there's only one non-stop, there's one stop, and then the rest are all 2s and 3 stops. So we'll check out this one, or non-stop, and it says it is a 7,000 mile flight, 12 hours and 40 minutes from Sydney to Santiago. But I don't think this flight ever takes off. It's available only Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday also, to kind of pinch you out and make you do something different. This flight to from Auckland, it says it's one flight there, and then a non-stop from Auckland. I checked those out already as well. That would be a 6,000 mile flight in 9 hours, or I think it's 11 hours actually. Actually, we can look at it. Here it is right here. Yeah, it's 11 hours 20 minutes for 6,000 miles. But I don't think either one of these 2 flights are real. They're just kind of there to keep guys like me from figuring this shit out. Okay, so basically you can't do either one of these, which would only be 7,000 miles. Your next option doubles already, so you're looking at 13,000 to 15,700, and all of these flights up here are all going to United States airports. These are all United States airports, and then this YVR is Vancouver, Canada, and these are all Canadian airports. So basically, if you can't get one of these straight across flights, then your next options are either United States or Canada, which doesn't make any sense at all. And the time, holy cow, it goes from 33 hours to 55 hours, depending on what you end up with on these. So let's just take a look at the maps. I mapped these out. And look, it just looks ridiculous what you have to try and do. You can't just go straight across. You have to actually get up into the northern hemisphere and then come back down. So that doesn't make any sense. So I mapped it on the flat earth map. And whoa, okay, now it makes sense. This is Sydney, Australia on the flat earth map. So yeah, you would want to stop at Vancouver or San Francisco or LA on your way, because it is on the way. Alright, the next one I checked out, let's see, was Johannesburg, South Africa to Perth, Australia. And I chose Perth just because it's the first city you would get to. It's a straight across shot from Johannesburg, which is right here, to Perth, which is right here. So look at all the flights that came up here, and once again we only have one non-stop, then 2 one-stops from Singapore, and then a bunch from Sydney, which are kind of strange. I'll show you that in a sec here. So let's just go to the maps. Alright, these are the routes they want you to take. There's 3 separate airports right in this little area. This is Dubai and Daho, and not sure what that one is. This one's Hong Kong, this one's Singapore, and here's Perth right here. These 2 in black, this is the non-stop that they have to Perth, and this one's kind of a weird one. There's a little tiny island right here called Mauritius, and you know, it's almost, you know, a straight shot, but it's got a 20-hour layover. So I don't know how many people would actually opt for that flight. But the reason I put these in black is because I don't think they exist either. And then you got all these flights that go to Sydney, which is here. So what, you're going to fly right over your destination, fly 2,000 extra miles, and then hop around to all these other cities before coming to Perth. So this is kind of a weird one I can't really figure out yet, especially when you look at the map, the flat earth map. All the other routes make sense because yeah, it's on the way. Here's Perth, here's South Africa, all the stops are on the way. This is that Mauritius though, so yeah, I don't know, maybe. These are all the flights to Sydney, so it still looks like a pretty long shot to Sydney. Let's see, the last one I mapped was, I wanted to go from Cape Town, South Africa, to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and these are the routes they were giving me. And there wasn't, yeah, I could show you that. They don't even have a non-stop, so you don't even have that option to just go straight across. So all of your other options are here. You can go to the London, Amsterdam, Istanbul, Dubai again, but you can't go straight across. And then yeah, there's a couple stops near Rio de Janeiro and another one over here. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, strange. And then I mapped it on this map, and you can see that, you know, they aren't, South America is pointing away from the way it looks on the Mercator map, so it's not just a straight across shot like it looks on that map anyways. But yeah, you can see all these flights have to go towards the North Pole first and then down. So there you have it. I encourage you to check it out because you can use any of these other cities around. Even trying to just, you know, I tried to take some shots at just the shortest jump right across, and then you still can't do it. They make you do other things, so you just can't get these straight, easy, you know, you would think would be flights, but they're not. Was look at flights in the southern hemisphere, trying to jump from continent to continent, mapping it out on Google Maps, and then mapping it out on the flat earth map, and realizing that the flat earth map showed the routes to make sense and the Google Maps didn't. And the way they were trying to hide these ridiculous routes was with fake flights, fake non-stop flights that aren't real and you can't get. This video will just focus on some of the changes that took place since then, like Fare Compare had to change their website and their flight search format. That happened like a couple weeks after the video came out. Also, some of the non-stops that they had out there disappeared from the searches as they were trying to figure out what to do, I'm sure. Sometimes they were in the searches, sometimes they weren't. And then also now they've added some new fake flights, so I'll go over those. And yes, even though it was a daily fight with shills and It wasn't fun. I blocked over 100 of them so far. Daily fight for 2 months, still happening. Because this is a huge lie, and they're trying to keep this one a secret. And this lie in particular really pissed off a lot of people, including a lot in the airline industry, because this lie is one of the big ones propping up the flat earth lie. And this lie exposes the flat earth a lot faster than people are ready to have it exposed, including a lot of flat earthers. And I'll probably make another video on that another time. Proof! Where is your proof? How many times did I hear that? Proof is in the logic, first of all. If you know the earth is flat like I do, then logically these are not real flights. But I know people need more proof than that, besides the actions that I've seen on this video since then, which also prove it to me. But here's how we get real proof and expose it. Calling out to friends in the southern hemisphere. We need your help. Show up to these airports and look for the gate of these fake flights. And I bet you won't find one. And if you do find one, I bet there won't be a plane pulling up or any people lining up for it. Because they can fake these flights to a certain extent, but they can't fake it that far. So let's expose it. Let's expose fake flights and the flat earth. Alright, this is Expedia, and it's a Sydney to Santiago search. And I can show you that every single one of these options on this page, which is 15 or 16, is fake. So we know this one is fake. This one is the non-stop from Sydney to Santiago, Qantas 27. Sometimes it shows up in the search, sometimes it doesn't. This one is fake. It used to only be available 3 days a week. Now it's available, I think, 4 days a week, or so it says, but this one is fake. 12 hours and 40 minutes for that flight. Nope. So how far would they go to make you believe that these non-stop flights are actually real? Well, this is how far they'll go.
It was a colourful start for QF Flight 28 to Santiago, with Chilean dancers performing their national dance at Sydney Airport, giving passengers on the plane an exciting send-off for the 13-hour non-stop journey to this new Qantas destination. And guess who was there to meet them on arrival?
Good morning.
Yes, none other than John Travolta, the airline's ambassador at large in his pilot's uniform. Even workers on the ramp strained to get a look at the famous actor, who later spoke at a packed media conference.
Two wonderful countries being able to come together with one flight, a non-stop flight from Sydney to Santiago. Simple trip.
So that one is fake, and every single other one of these ones is fake also. No matter what the first part does, because all these flights eventually take off from Auckland and go to Santiago, and that we've already shown is a fake flight. You can't do it. So all you really need to see, this is an 11-hour, 20-minute flight for 6,000 miles, supposedly. But not on the flat earth map. All you need to know is that this is the same flight that's going to Auckland, 4:15 to 12:35. And you can see that all of these flights end at 12:35, no matter what the stops. This one goes through Brisbane first. So is this one, Melbourne first. So those can be real. I'm saying the Auckland to Santiago portion is not real. And see, they're all, so all of these flights right here on this page are fake. So whatever happens, I'm sure you try to book one and it says, oh jeepers, nothing's available. Here's your next option to either Vancouver, San Francisco, or LA. Here's flight 800. This is the one that I'm talking about, the Auckland, 6,000 miles, Auckland to Santiago. Supposedly leaving every single day. Now there's another flight. Flight 1316 wasn't in the first video. Now it's a new flight supposedly. But I'll show you, they just copied this flight. So it's just another fake flight. You can look here. 4:15 departure time every single day of the week. So they both leave at the exact same time. Except for this one. This one gets there in 10 hours and 15 minutes, and this one gets there in 11 hours and 20 minutes. So, yeah, this one, same jet, same seats, all that stuff. So, now they're just getting sloppy. So now there's two fake ones, and you can see that flight 27 didn't come up. We can close these up, and I'll show you that. There's no non-stop in this. So interesting. And here's your dead giveaway. The Auckland flights, these are the two fakes, 800 and 1316, 7,337 miles. Your next option's double, and it goes all the way to 15.7. So you're either flying, there's one flight that takes you to San Francisco, then Houston, and then to Santiago. There's two different flights to LA that either take you to Atlanta or Houston, and then Santiago. And then there is one flight to Vancouver, and then you have a couple of different options. But alright, here we are, Johannesburg to Perth. And I've opened up all the real flights, but we'll go over the fake ones. This one is real to Singapore. And here's the flat earth map that I used to map out the Johannesburg to Perth flights. And this flight right here from Johannesburg to Singapore to Perth, almost a straight line, and it's 7,800 miles. So that's where I'm getting that 5161 cannot be a real flight. Also, all these Sydney flights are fake. They disappeared from the search altogether the other day, but they're back today. It's almost a straight shot on the flat earth map from Johannesburg to Singapore to Perth, and this is 7,803 miles. So it's close to 8,000 miles, not 5,161. So this flight right here, 280, South African Airlines, is a fake. And that was in the first video. You'll see a lot of these QF64, Qantas 64, all of those are fake. Those are all to Sydney. The first flight is to Sydney, 6:10 p.m. You'll see all of them are leaving at this time. So whatever the rest of the flight is, doesn't matter, because the first flight part is fake. So this is a fake listing. You see they're listing it at even the one stop, 88.82, which is only 1 mile less than the two stop. Amazing. But yeah, this flight to Dubai, real, and that is 9,597 miles. Johannesburg, Dubai, Perth. And this one is to Abu Dhabi International, and this one's real too. But all the QF64s are fake, because this first part of the flight, Qantas 64, 6,847 miles. It's a lot longer than that. And all the Sydney flights weren't even on the search the other day, about 2 or 3 days ago. Today they are. So, yep, there you have it. And you can see I'm not using any dates in this search, so that way it pulls up everything. And I'll show you. I've got everything checked over here, so any flight, any stop, these are all the different airports.